Gretna 2008 are a phoenix club, risen from the ashes of Gretna FC, a club that enjoyed a meteoric rise up the Scottish football pyramid in the mid-noughties before falling into administration and eventually folding in 2008. Gretna is a small town located close to the Scottish-English border. After enduring a spell of around 20 years without a football club, Gretna FC was founded in 1946 by returning servicemen from World War II. Having spent the majority of their existence playing amateur and semi-professional football, they were finally elected to the Scottish Football League in 2002, where they were soon taken over by millionaire businessman Brooks Milson. It was his financial input that played a lead role in Gretna winning 3 consecutive league titles from 2005 to 2007, skyrocketing up the leagues in a way never before seen in British football. They also reached the Scottish FA Cup final in 2006, at which time they were still playing in the third tier of Scottish football, becoming the first ever club to achieve this. After a 1-1 draw against Hearts in the final, they ended up losing on penalties. As Hearts had finished second in the SPL, Gretna were granted entry into the UEFA Cup, but it was a very short-lived dream as they went down 7-3 on aggregate to Irish side Derry City in the second qualifying round. Gretna's first and only season in the Scottish Premier League in the 07-08 campaign saw them play their home games at Motherwell's Fir Park, because their home turf Radale Park didn't meet SPL standards. This is when the club's financial structure started to fall apart. Carrying debts of nearly £4 million, owner Brooks Milson fell ill and withdrew his financial support for the club. It was a condition he was never to recover from, and he sadly passed away around a year later. Early 2008 saw the club unable to pay their players and staff's wages. Manager Dave Irons and assistant manager Derek Collins both resigned from their positions, and soon after, in March 2008, the club were plunged into administration, being docked 10 points in the process. This saw mass redundancies across the squad, with 22 players, including 8 first-team regulars, along with several coaching staff being released from the club. Gretna were officially relegated from the SPL on the 29th of March 2008 after a 2-0 defeat at St Mirren. It got worse for the club as they were relegated to the 4th tier in May due to their continued financial struggles, and after a potential takeover bid fell through in early June, the club resigned their position in the Scottish Football League. And with no ground, no staff, no players and no competition to play in, the club were formally liquidated on the 8th of August 2008. The Gretna Supporters Society decided to form a new club, aptly named Gretna 2008, who were accepted into the East of Scotland League, first playing their games at the Everhome Stadium in Annan, before making their highly anticipated return to Radale Park in May 2009. In 2013, Gretna 2008 became founding members of the new Lowland Football League, a new league sitting one division below what is now the Scottish League 2, and that is where they've played their football ever since. What's good YouTube, it's your boy Craig, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a little while, I do apologise for that. Like I said in the last video, I am a university student, I have just been tying up the last assignments I need to do before Christmas, but I am free now until February, so I can just focus on making some content for y'all. And I can focus on this brand new series. This is a series I've had in the pipeline for so long now, and it's great to be able to finally start it. We are going to be playing as Gretna 2008. I hope the little intro segment that just played gave you a little bit of a background on the roller coaster this small Scottish town's been on since the start of the 21st century. They were a team that absolutely soared up the Scottish leagues, but ultimately they had too much too soon, and once the money stopped, they felt the repercussions of that very, very quickly as they dissolved into nothing until this new Phoenix club was founded. So yeah, we are going to be playing as Gretna 2008 in a series I have titled Make Gretna Great Again, because, you know, it's a feat only a very stable genius would attempt. What we basically want to do here is take Gretna back to the heights they experienced in the mid-noughties, but obviously we don't have the financial backing this time. I mean, if a sugar daddy comes along at some point during the way, I wouldn't complain, but I wouldn't hold my breath on it. So we're on the club page here. As you can see, we are a semi-professional club with a local reputation, understandably. We only have the league history from 13, 14, 14, 15 for some reason, but that doesn't really matter. All we need to know is that they've played in this league since the league started in 2013, so they haven't done anything else. We play in black and white hoops, and we play at Radale Park, which is a 6,000 capacity stadium, but obviously I don't think we're going to be quite bringing in that many because we have 40 season ticket holders. We don't have any real rivalries apart from Annan Athletic, who play in the Scottish League 2, so yeah, hopefully we'll have some form of derby game before too long in this save. So the Scottish Lowland League where we'll be playing, it consists of 15 teams. Each team plays each other twice, so that's 28 games in a league season, which isn't a lot for a league season. And as you can see, they are very spaced out as well. Obviously, in September we only play one league game, in October we only play two. But there is the capacity to be a lot of cup games sprinkled in between those because, as you can see here, we're going to be playing in 5 different competitions this season. We've got the Scottish Lowland League, we've got the Scottish Cup, and we've got 3 sort of non-league cups as well that the board really don't care about at all. One of which, the Scottish Lowland League Cup, actually starts after the domestic season has ended. So we'll play our last game of the league season and then the first round of this Lowland League Cup starts, which is kind of strange, but it's something a little different, I guess. So we're expected to finish in the top half of the league, which I think is doable. We're expected to reach the second round of the Scottish Cup, and like I said, these non-league cups, they're just not bothered about, even though these are the ones that we could possibly have a chance of winning. As you can see from the league as well, it is a very all-or-nothing kind of league. There's just one promotion place at the top and one relegation place at the bottom. So if you want to get out of this league, you have got to be top dog. There's no other way to get out of it. So we'll have a little look at the squad page then. I have had a little play around just to see where players could possibly fit in here. And as you can see, there are some players that actually do look pretty decent. Like I said, the top half should be pretty doable for us. All these players are on contracts though, so unless another team comes in for them, there isn't really a way for us to get rid of anyone. As far as reserves go, we haven't got many in there. You can see that, you know, we have a lot of grayed out players just to fill that up. And we do not have a lot of money either. We have a very small balance in there. We have used all but £38 of our wage budget with no transfer budget, so we're going to have to be very shrewd in what we do. We're going to be dipping into the loan market, essentially. And one thing that I've noticed with this league as well, in the rules, is that you can actually play trialists in this league. You can have a maximum of 4 in your squad, and they can play a maximum of 3 games. And there's also a date range as well that you can play them in. Let me check. Okay, so the squad must have no more than 4 players who are on trial. Trialists are allowed to play a maximum of 3 matches, and they're allowed to play in games between the 1st of July and the 31st of March. So, I mean, the league will be nearly done by then. Yeah, so basically, we can play trialists in every game apart from the last 3 games of the season. So that's potentially very useful if we get into a situation where we do have injuries or something. We can just bring in trialists for a game or 2. Obviously, we don't want to have to rely on trialists because then there'd be no squad chemistry. But it's a good thing to have in the back pocket. But yeah, we are going to have to keep a strong eye on the finances because the projection just predicts us to descend into chaos within the next few seasons. So yes, loan market is going to be very, very important for us this season. So looking at the staff then, we are very much running on a skeleton crew. There is just the chairman, there's me, my assistant manager, and then we have a head physio and a chief scout that we're not even paying. So, I mean, it's a good thing to be honest because we can't afford to pay them. Hopefully no one swoops in and takes those offers because we would really be in the poo-poo there. So we're just going to have to make do with what we have for now. And finally, we'll take a look at the tactics page. Like I said earlier, we have had a little play around to see what kind of system we could possibly play. The best thing I could come up with is just a straightforward 4-4-2. It's still not great because there's a lot of players that can't play in the positions that I'd really like them to. They play some very awkward positions, like Norman here on the right wing. He's naturally a defensive winger. I have set him up in training to train to be just a winger on support, so he can be a bit more natural there. It's just a case of making do, because like I said, all these players are on contract, so we can't let anyone go, and we don't have the funds to bring anyone in on a permanent basis. But we are going to be looking at loans, because I think we need to really strengthen up, especially on this, on both left and right hand side, left wing, right wing, left back, right back. We really need some depth in there. This season is going to be a grind, I know that. It's not going to be a pretty season, but hopefully we can get through it, consolidate our place in the league, and next summer we can have, you know, a good clear out, and we can build our own squad and our own system. And I think that's pretty much all I wanted to show for this intro video. So I'm going to go and play pre-season now. As you can see, we've got some friendlies scheduled in there. I have tried to schedule some more. So the next video, we're going to be playing the first 2 games of the season against Cumbernauld Colts and Stirling Uni. The good thing about not having as many games in the season is you're going to have a much higher percentage of games live-commed in this series, because we usually live-com 2 games a month. So, I mean, in October, you're going to get both the games live-commed. September, we're just going to have to live-com one of the Scottish Cup games. But yeah, you're looking at around half the games this season are going to be live-com, so that's exciting. So thank you very much for watching the intro video for this series. I hope you're as excited about it as I am. I am absolutely buzzing about it. I think it's a great idea for a save. I'm surprised no YouTuber's done this one before. It's actually, cause I remember this. It was a huge story in the mid-noughties. I actually remember even Jeff Stelling wearing a Gretna scarf on Soccer Saturday once, when it was one of the seasons they got promoted. I'm not sure which one it was. Probably the one where they got promoted to the SPL. So if you want to show your support for the series and the channel, the best way to do so is to smash that big old thumbs up button down below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new, if you want to see the videos that I post as soon as they come out. That was a weird way of saying that. And I will see you all in the next one.